Hey, what's up guys, and yes, the final episode of What If Naruto was taken by the Sannins. Thank you for enjoying this episode, that's all I can say guys. Thank you for watching and enjoying. And you already know new What Ifs are coming up soon for you guys to enjoy. So sit back and just relax and yeah, enjoy them guys. I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto had the most powerful Sharingan over on Anime King 3. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And over on Anime King 2 I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto was banished to the Forbidden Land. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, we'll just begin this new episode. Start the intro. So the last spot we left off, as Naruto and his group was embarking on the second phase of the exam, as they made their way inside the forest. As they were quickly able to get their scroll in the first 2 minutes, when a team from the rain attacked them, and they stood absolutely no chance, as Gaara had sand packs on everyone from the sound, and he pulled out the map and he could find where each and every one of them were. So as he kept on looking around for them, he showed Naruto where they would be coming from. As Naruto waited by the tower with his group, waiting on the others to arrive. When they finally arrived there, Naruto asked them what took them so long, as they ran into some trouble with Nada's freaks. As Naruto cursed as he knew that they were in here as they were told to abandon the mission, as they were here to seal away the Uchiha Sharingan, as it was a threat and it would be for the future. So with that, they were gonna go in, but it turns out that Kankuro and his group didn't have a scroll, and no one had one, so they said that they would go back for one, as Naruto was against this, but they told him that everything would be fine. So they made their way off. As they ran into the Uchiha team, the pink-haired girl in the Uchiha team got her neck snapped, the other one was broken down to half, as Sasuke was froze by a girl that looked like Sub-Zero, as he was frozen straight up to his neck. As Kankuro and his team was attacked, but they didn't come out of it alive, except for one, Kabuto, as a scroll was left, as Neji had found the scroll. The Konoha teams are too petrified because of killer intent coming from Nadas to even move, as Sasuke was taken. Now the council wanted Orochimaru to give them Naruto so that they could trade him for Sasuke. Orochimaru would never even think of doing anything like that. On the other hand, Naruto was pissed, as he swore he was gonna kill Nadas and those freaks of his. He was gonna make them pay. As Temari was upset, as Kankuro was gone, as Naruto was angered by their death. Some time passed, as Nadas didn't want Naruto to drop out of the exam. Otherwise, he would kill the Uchiha. But Orochimaru did not care about the Uchiha, but he knew that Naruto would not leave the exam because he knew that Naruto wanted to fight Nadas and his freaks, but Nadas ended up dropping out. As a lot of members dropped out, leaving the perfect number for the finals, 9 of them. So there would be no preliminaries. So with that, the time went on, as a few things happened with the council meeting and Orochimaru talking to the Hyuga, as Hayashi proposed an alliance by marriage, having his daughter marry Naruto. As Orochimaru thought about the option, but he would have to spoke to Naruto about this, as Naruto was a bit freaked out. He was too young to be married. But Jiraiya told him that he was thinking with a one-track mind after all. He gotta remember who he was. He wouldn't be married to just one person, given his two last names that he had, Uzumaki and Namikaze the last of both of his clans. But the girls were arguing as Teiwaya had managed to steal a kiss away from Naruto. As the girls were pissed off, it seems like they were going to erupt into a civil war chaos. As they were pissed at Teiwaya, but she did not care what they thought, as she was willing to fight each and every one of them if they tried to tell her otherwise. Gaara arrived though, and end anything before it could escalate, as he told them that Tsunade wished to speak with them, as she was weeping. So the group made their way off. So yeah guys, that's basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the place, check out for yourself. So it's to begin this new episode. You're joking, right? Orochimaru looked at Naruto with a raised eyebrow. Of course he's joking, Naruto-kun, Haku said, as Ken looked at Orochimaru along with Haku, but he was serious. It's no joke, Orochimaru said. He was about to say something else, but he had to move as Tsunade fists destroyed the wall behind him. Please, Haim, said Jiraiya. Don't please Haim me, you bastard. You know how I feel about that. It's one thing for Naruto dating several girls, but there will be only one goddamn wife, she said. And she surely isn't going to be a slip of a girl that he's only met in passing. Haku, Kin, Temari, and Teiwaya was sharing similar thoughts as Naruto glanced towards Gaara. He didn't know why, but for some strange reason he believed that Gaara was laughing at him under the sand armor, but the sand armor was keeping his face rather passive and neutral. Orochimaru sighed. I swore I would talk with Naruto. I did. He's not doing it. Screw your agenda, Orochimaru, said Tsunade. Haim, I understand and I wouldn't, Orochimaru was saying, but she was not in a mood to placate. Damn right you're not. You march your pale, skinny ass back there and tell the Hyugas and the rest of those bastards that they could take the Hokage's monument and shove it up their goddamn... Tsunade was cut off as there was a knock at the door. What? She snapped towards the door. The door slipped open as a boy pushed his head in. It was Seikon. Sorry to interrupt, but there's a small group of Hyugas at the door, asking to see Naruto-sama and Lord Orochimaru. Tsunade growled as her eyes locked on Orochimaru. Thank you, Seikon. Put them in the waiting room and have some tea prepared. As Seikon nodded as he left. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, said Tsunade. Tsunade, Orochimaru said. I am not forcing Naruto to do anything. As I said, it is up to him. Force, no. But guilt trip you would. Naruto-kun, do not do this out of duty. Your uncle is playing a game, and for one, I don't like it. As Naruto focused on Orochimaru, I know Uncle Orochi is playing a large-scale game like Shogi. It is his vice, just like yours is drinking and gambling, and Aeropop is peeping on the girls in the hot spring. However, while the game is in play, we should use every means. I'm not saying I will agree to this marriage, but Naruto-kun, no, Haku said. Orochimaru stood. I will go and speak with the Hyugas. He smiled at Tsunade, who was on her feet already. And you will tell them that Naruto isn't going to marry their Hyuga. First off, he's too young. And secondly, she looked towards the four girls in the room. He's already got a prospective girlfriend. As Naruto looked towards the four girls, who saw this as a green light, go ahead. I'll come with you to discipline the Hyuga, uncle. As Jiraiya burst out laughing, walking right into Tsunade, who punched him in the wall. Still pissed off, as she vented a bit of her anger. Time skip. Thank you for meeting with us, Lord Orochimaru, Hayashi said, as Naruto took a seat next to his adoptive uncle, as he looked towards the pale-eyed girl from the exam. I have spoken with my nephew, Orochimaru said, but Hayashi held up a hand. Please, before you deny me this chance to save my daughter, allow me to speak. Orochimaru nodded. He had a feeling that Hyuga was looking for more than he said in the council chambers. There was something else he was not saying. May I speak freely here, Lord Orochimaru? Said Hayashi. You may. Naruto has my confidence, and if a person gets past zone 5, well, I'm well aware of the amount of damage he can take, he said, as Hayashi nodded before he looked towards his daughter. I wouldn't force a marriage on my daughter even. I ask, no, I beg of you, however, to take her to the sound, because of her kindness due to others. She is different from most Hyugas and the elders. They wish to mark her. As Orochimaru scowled at that, you allow them to continue to have power. Hayashi sighed. A lot has changed since the Sannis were in Konoha. Clan councils has more power than clan heads. And the village council, that once was an advisory to the Hokage, now wield power that can upset his. Orochimaru sighed. Sarutobi Sensei mentioned this in our private talks. You know what the council wanted the boy, right? Hayashi said as he looked towards Naruto. As Naruto gave a lopsided grin. Like your father, Hayashi said. Orochimaru laughed. Minato was a character. What will you have me do, Hayashi? I won't force a marriage, and Tsunade will kill any who try. Hayashi nodded at this. I would ask for pardon, said Naruto, cutting in. What of Gaara? What do you mean, Hayashi said. My teammate and best friend Gaara, who is the current son of the Kazekage. He's also a sound genin. If you want a mock hand-fasting, what better security than the current Kage? Besides, I have enough trouble with 4 girls. If I were even to pretend to do this, I would be killed by one of them before Mom could even lift a finger. Orochimaru looked towards his nephew. He was right, as he looked towards the Hyuga heiress, who looked down. What you say is correct. With Gaara, she would not only have the protection of sound, but both San as well. Hayashi nodded. And when you clean your clan up, she can do as she pleases, Orochimaru said. As Naruto stood, I'll go and speak with Gaara. Lady Hyuga, would you like to meet him? She twitched and fiddled her fingers together. After a look to her father, she nodded. The 2 adults watched him retreat. You've done a wonderful job in raising him. That goes to Tsunade. I'm just the awesome uncle who taught him cool things. You've all raised him, Hayashi said. I bet he hasn't shown even a tenth of his skills. In that you are right. Of course, it's an argument between us. Which one of us is going to replace the Sannin when time comes? Retiring, Hayashi said. Well, I'm leader of the sound. Jiraiya want to work on his books. And Tsunade. Well, he shook his head. Naruto and Anko we raised to succeed us. We taught them both all we know, and we tried to teach them right and wrong. Hayashi was a bit quiet. I always wonder how things would have turned out if he was raised within Konoha. Orochimaru snorted. They'd probably try to turn him into a cold, emotionless weapon. Hayashi knew that he was correct after all, with the way things were going right now. Time skip. As Naruto had a smile on his face, as he had put Gaara and Hinata in the same room, and told them to get to one another. When he told him of the plan, You're in a good mood, Naruto-kan, Haku said, appearing out of an ice mirror. I am, Haku-chan, said Naruto. I just introduced Gaara to his future bride-in-law, and placed a time-lock seal on the door. But Naruto-kan, isn't that your room as well? Oh, yeah, said Naruto. Haku chuckled. Come with me, she said. As she grated the ice mirror, Kin and T.Y. came around the corner. Haku smirked as she pulled Naruto inside. That bitch, both girls said, as she was gone. As Naruto found himself in the Hokage's monument, he couldn't get to finish the sentence as she kissed him. Elsewhere, reports said Nadas. The Uchiha chakra has been drained, and we've already removed his eyes, my lord. A scientist reported. Good. News from Konoha, Nadas said. They're in an uproar. They're trying to force Orochimaru of the sound to turn over. They could be wrecked. Nadas snorted. The Sannin will let Konoha burn before they hand over Naruto. Get me Kono. I have a job for him. As you command, my lord. As Nadas looked towards Sasuke, who was floating in a tube. There was numerous tentacles running into him. Don't worry, Sasuke. You will be returning back to Konoha, just a bit different than when you left. As he looked towards the 2 tanks of chemicals. Chemical X. I wonder what that will do to you. So much to do, and only a month to do it in. As he chuckled to himself. Time skip. The month passed quickly, as Konoha was still trying to force the sound to give them Naruto. Haku and the girls got into a fight. Luckily, Naruto was able to calm it before things would escalate, and then they all turned their sights on him. But he had run away, as they were all chasing after him. However, Jiraiya took him away to get some extra training in. Kabuto was slowly getting better, even after a month. The damage was extensive that happened to him, but with Tsunade there, she was helping a lot. As Naruto took each and every girl on a date, Gaara and Hinata got along surprisingly well. The both of them were soft-spoken and a bit shy. But Gaara saw the way that Naruto treated the other girls, and he decided to mimic action as he was treating her like a princess. They even went out on a date, as Temari and Naruto had spied on them, as Gaara treated her wonderfully. At the moment though, the sun hit Naruto in his face, as he woke up with a groan. He was confused because he did not remember going to bed last night, as he looked to see his mother at the end of his bed, as she was in a chair, her head resting on the side of the bed, as he hadn't seen a lot of her for this past month, seeing that he was busy training hard. Mom, he said. She yawned as she awoken. Morning, Naruto-kun, she said. as she hugged him like a teddy bear. Did you sleep well? Yeah, did you? I did. Are you ready for today? She asked. No, but I will be, said Naruto, as he noticed Gaara was gone already. He slept in Jiraiya's room, she said. Naruto nodded as he gathered his belongings, as he went to get a shower. This better work, said Tsunade, or I will castrate that pervert, and get me some snakeskin boots. Meanwhile, Naruto found out that the others had gone ahead to the arena. While he was getting ready, as Kimimaro and Jiraiya were here. Nervous, kid? Asked Jiraiya. A bit, said Naruto, not really about the exam, but noticed and his freaks. As they walked the nearly deserted streets, all of Konoha was turned now to see the finals. You don't have to worry, Naruto-sama, the 5. We'll make sure nothing happened to you, said Kimimaro. And my family, said Naruto. Nor your family. You know, Kimimaro, you and the others are considered a part of the family too. The leader of the Zone 5 paused as he looked at him. We are tools. You and your family. You are a part of the family, said Naruto, cutting him off. You and the others have become family over the years. Don't say otherwise. As Jiraiya smirked. Give up on that, Kimimaro. Once he made up his mind, you know. He's not gonna change it, and he made up his mind a long time ago. Thank you, Naruto-sama, said Kimimaro. You think Konoha will try something new in the exam, said Naruto. They do, and the 3rd will have heads, said Jiraiya. And if he does not, your mother will. Yeah, Mom does have a temper, said Naruto with a laugh. The group was stopped by several men, who was wearing black and tan armor. Look, Erupts, pretender, said Naruto. They think by wearing the sand headband that we believe that you're from the sand, said Jiraiya. Allow me, my lord, said Kimimaro, as he was in motion before the fake sand ninjas could state their business, as bodies fell. Impressive, Kimimaro. You no longer need hand signs for those, said Jiraiya. It is thanks Naruto-sama, with him and Lady Tsunade helping me with my disease. I am able to fully mobilize my bones without hand signs now. As Naruto pulled the mask down one of the dead ninjas, I recognize this one. He's one of Konoha's. Jiraiya stared at the bodies in a stroll as he pulled the watch. Come on, we need to go, he said. The finals are about to start. Go, he said, as Naruto ran off. Once Naruto was gone, as Kimimaro went after him, Jiraiya told him he would catch up in a bit. He turned his head. Well, Nadas, do you have something to say? As Nadas stepped from the shadows. Yes, I think we need to have some words, Sannin, he said. As for Naruto, as he jumped over the Chonins who tried to stop him, as he gave them a finger as he landed. You were nearly late, Uzumaki. Sorry, the guys at the door tried to deny me entrance, said Naruto. In the Kage's booth, Sarutobi looked towards the council, where they were sitting, and none of them would look him in the eyes. Orochimaru simply shook his head as he saw Tsunade. She was over to the other side speaking to Sound Jennings. Haku was hidden amongst the crowd along with the members of Sound 5, each of them dressed as a civilian or normal member of Konoha. Where's Jiraiya? He asked softly. Dealing with some cleanup, he whispered to Orochimaru. Nadas was hanging out in the shadows after I dealt with 6 Konoha ninjas who tried to stop us. Orochimaru sighed. I want to get out of here, he said, as Konoha was really getting on his nerves right now. He looked over as he saw the Kazekage taking a seat. Hello, old friend, Sarutobi said. Harrison, Orochimaru. How is Gaara doing in the sound? He said. His face was covered in a veil. As he glanced towards Orochimaru, he's flourishing in the sound, my friend. He's got friends, and he's now betrothed to a lady Hyuga. What? The Kazekage said. Well, I need the alliance of Hayashi, and Gaara volunteered. As the Kazekage looked down to see Naruto talking with Gaara. Your nephew has worked wonders. Perhaps I was wrong in letting Gaara go, he said. You were, but I'm not eager to return none of my best enemies now. And I'm sure he wouldn't want to leave his friends. Sarutobi spoke up. I'm sorry about loss of your oldest boy, Kankuro. Another failure. Well, perhaps my new bride can give me a strong heir. It shows that the man never really cared about his children. As Orochimaru said nothing about that. Looked like it's starting, he said. Meanwhile, as Nadas was on the roof, Jiraiya had tried to capture him in the mud. A swamp of the underworld mud. But he had jumped to the roof. Would you believe me if I told you, Jiraiya? I do not mean Naruto no harm. Would you believe me if I told you I wouldn't trust you as far as a 10-year-old academy student can throw the Hokage's monument? Said Jiraiya, snapping back at the man. Not a sigh. Time is run out, Jiraiya, and I just wish to speak with you. You said that years ago, and then you left, and tried to capture Naruto. I could have killed you and your family that day, if I wanted to, Jiraiya. Nada said, and I had numerous chances to do so. Your freaks killed my students, said Jiraiya. But two useless idiots in the Konoha Genin died. Kabuto lives on, and he should make a full recovery in no time. Jiraiya grit his teeth. Kankuro was a friend of Naruto. As Nada simply shrugged. He's really unimportant in the end of it all. He's barely decent as a puppet master. His death served purpose in motivating Naruto to continue on. What do you hope to accomplish with this? Asked Jiraiya. You never should have modified the seal on Naruto. It threw it all. So much planning. All of them. Now I have to make things go a certain way by doing different things that I didn't want to do. Jiraiya leaped onto the roof. What do you mean? Konoha will not be getting the Uchiha back after all. I have 3 of them. And while I destroyed it, I have theirs. And some reprogramming, some surgical alteration and some DNA splicing, they have become useful. Jiraiya got a cold feeling in his stomach. What have you done? He said. Meanwhile, at the arena, the 9 competitors stood in the center of the stadium. As Naruto was standing next to Gaara, Temaru was behind him, Ryu was crouched in front of them. As he was adjusting his gloves, he was muttering he should have stayed in bed. As he looked towards Scorpion and Sub-Zero, both of them were motionless, their dead, pale eyes locked on them. The Konoha team of Neji Hyuga, Tenten and Rock Lee was just below the Kage's boot. Lee was stretching. The girl Tenten was looking over some scrolls. And Neji, eyes were focused on Naruto, with a cold, serious gaze. We take out Sub-Zero as soon as possible, said Naruto. Once he's gone, I will deal with Scorpion, said Gaara. Ryu, remember it's your duty to protect Temaru-chan. She's our long-range hitter. Let no one pass you. Got it, boss, Ryu. Be careful, Naruto-kun. You too, little brother, said Temaru. And you too, idiot, she said, looking towards Ryu. The Konoha Jonin was spouting rules. After all, this was a fight with all of them. Rules were not going to be followed. As Gaara glanced up to see Hinata sitting next to Shizune and Tsunade, Teiwai was standing behind him. We'll survive, said Naruto. You better believe it. We have a date tonight, said Temari, as Naruto saw it drop. Well, at least that was some motivation. I declare that the final round of this year's Chunin exam is ready to begin, the Jonin said as the fans cheer out. But suddenly there was an explosion as all hell broke loose. Many rubble slammed into many of the spectators, civilians knocking them out cold or either damaging them badly. What the hell, said Naruto as he glanced up towards the Hokage's boot. There was smoke everywhere. Surrounding Sub-Zero and Scorpion was several new figures. The rest of the smoke was cleared away, as everyone was shocked when they saw who was standing there. What? This doesn't make any sense. As the Hokage, the Kazekage, and the Sound Kage all stood there, but the people across from them, this Madara? Said Sarutobi. What? This can't be. He's dead, Orochimaru said, and he hasn't aged a day, said Sarutobi. Just what the hell was going on? Orochimaru looked towards Kimimaro. Protect Naruto and the others. My lord, I must protest leaving you, said Kimimaro. I'll be fine, say to my family. The bone user flashed down as Kano taunted Temaru and Gaara. The two had missed Kankuro a lot, and he said that he was the one that made Kankuro squeal like a pig before he killed him. Gaara lost it. Kano was not expecting this much sand, as it slammed into him like a tsunami. Jade and the others flashed away. As Naruto's eyes became murderous as he saw Sub-Zero, the ground seemed to crack as Naruto shot forward, but he was forced to stop as a dome of chakra stopped him. What the hell? As it was Neji. Neji dropped into his stance. You have brought this upon Konoha. Your fate is to die at my hand. Fate? Fate is for losers with no imagination, who have small penises, said Naruto. Now get the hell out of my way! Neji was viciously slammed as Naruto slammed right into him, shoulder tackle. Neji staggered back, but he slammed his fist forward, only for Naruto to duck underneath it and brought his foot up. Neji knocked it aside as they started to tussle. Ryu and Lee was in the mother of all kaiju to fight. Temaru was making a mockery of Tenten. Kimimaro appeared as he sliced, but Scorpion jumped out of the way as he launched his weapon as Kimimaro blocked it. Dozens of ninjas dressed like Scorpion appeared all over the arena. The battle for Konoha had begun, while 3 Uchihas remained perfectly still, like they were stone. Back with Jiraiya. You bastard! You've been distracting me. No, I've been talking with you. It just so happened that some of my lieutenants are impatient, and they jumped to conclusion. Later, Sannin said Nodus as he vanished. Wait, said Jiraiya, as he leaped after the man. But something was wrong. It wasn't anything too drastic, but the way the man called him Sannin, it was just... As Jiraiya made his way back in the arena, I said, get the hell out of my way, said Naruto. Can't you see what's happening? I have my orders. The council has called for your death, said Neji. As Naruto twists and dodges strikes of the Hyuga, the man was trying to strike him in the heart. As Naruto raised both hands and slammed it on Neji's, Neji was forced to jump back. What of the alliance between the Sun and the Hyugas? Meaningless. Hinata is weak. Her removal from the main house was foreseen a long time ago, said Neji. Your uncle or her father made an alliance. Attacking would break it, said Naruto. If that is what it takes, then so be it, said Neji. I will fulfill my duty. Then you won't move, said Naruto. No, said Neji. Fine. I guess I'll just have to apologize to Hinata later, because you won't be attending the wedding, said Naruto. As Neji came towards him, Neji was a bit surprised as Naruto's speed seemed to have doubled. BAM! A vicious slam to his face knocked him back. Neji staggered a few feet. BAM! A vicious hit to his stomach, as Naruto was in the Hebai style, striking like a wild animal, a snake, unable to be tamed, unable to be grasped. Naruto delivered some brutal licks to Neji. The attacks were strong as Neji was being hit by a ton of force as he was blasted back. Neji's arms dropped to his side as they were tingling. He flushed chakra through his hands to get back feeling before he charged once again. My mother's one of the strongest persons in this world. Do you really think she hadn't taught me anything, said Naruto, as he dodged Neji's palm strike before. He flicked him in the forehead. The force on the simple flick sent Neji sailing as he skipped like a stone before breaking into the wall. As Naruto felt someone rushing towards him was one of the uniformed ninjas, until snakes wrapped around his neck, as his neck was snapped. As Anko landed beside Naruto. You're getting better. 7 skips. Where's mom, said Naruto, dealing with an infestation. As Naruto turned to his mother, who was fighting one of Naruto's freaks, Jade. As Naruto looked around, the Kagebuto was a war zone. The Kazekage had turned on Orochimaru and Sarutobi. What the hell? The Kazekage removed the veil, as it was not the Kazekage. It was a man with a long black hair, a goatee. His skin was pale. Shag, said Naruto, as he had saw him in the bingo book. Don't worry, I don't know what the hell's going on here, said the uncle, but we have to take care of the freak, she said. As Naruto jumped out of the way as Ryu was sent sailing past him, Ryu crashed in the wall as he burst out of it, rushing towards Lee. Both of them had taken off their weights and they were fighting, like there was nothing else going on around them. Uncle threw, as her kunai split through the head of another ninja. This reminded me of that time in the coastal town, with all those pirates, Uncle said as Naruto flashed right above one of the ninjas as he grabbed him with both of his foot, before he spun and broke the man's neck. What time, said Naruto, as he deflected a sword, before driving his fist into the man's chest. As Anko grabbed him as he slammed into her, she used the momentum and flipped him over and crushed him under her boot, snapping his neck. Before we came here, said Anko, as she pulled out several kunais and threw them, as they multiplied, as they rained down, slaughtering several of the ninjas. As Naruto saw the Uchiha not moving, what's up with them? I'm not sure what's up with them, but you notice they all have their eyes covered, said Anko, as Naruto dodged, grabbing the man's arm before he pulled the man down. He then twisted and threw him right in Lee and Ryu path as the both of them fists was on colliding entrance. As their fists made contact with the man's head, crushing it under the weight. They're endless, Uncle said. Just more to kill, said Naruto. Meanwhile, Gaara looked towards the remains of Konoha and his thugs. My brother has been avenged, he said, as there were body parts everywhere, crushed and destroyed. He turned to see Temari, and the Konoha ninja had stopped fighting one another, and they were now fighting a pair of Nada's freaks. A woman in a purple attire, and another one in a black attire. They both had some strange blades. He saw Naruto and Anko destroying these ninjas right and left, while Ryu was still fighting that weird Konoha ninja. As Gaara saw something move, it was fast, as it was someone made from shadows. As he appeared in front of Gaara, Gaara's hand blocked his punch as he jumped back. He did not talk, but he attacked. You will be crushed, just like the other, said Gaara. Meanwhile, Jiraiya reached the stadium. As he looked down, place was being ransacked all over. He wasn't sure where Naruto was, but his help was needed. Hello, Jiraiya-kun. As he turned to see the monk, Kan Lao. As Jiraiya looked towards him, the man pulled off his hat. Can we talk about this, said Jiraiya. No. As he threw his hat, Jiraiya dodged. As it tear right past Jiraiya. He just saved himself. Jiraiya saw the hat return back to the man. Nice seal work. As Kung Lao simply smirked. You think you have the market on them? No, but I always like learning new things, said Jiraiya. As he released a wad of mud towards the monk, who smirked. You've gotten faster. Or, you slower, said Jiraiya. The two met in a furious punch and kicks. The last one sent Jiraiya's skin across the ground, but he rolled and jumped away. As he flipped over one of Nada's freaks, and delivered a bone-crushing kick to his back, breaking the man through the building. Nice. I aim to please. You're not still mad about that, are you? Said Jiraiya. Yes, Kung Lao said. As he leaped towards Jiraiya with several kicks, Jiraiya blocked him as he flipped off the building and landed. As Jiraiya dodged a hat that ripped into the building side. Fine, said Jiraiya, here. As he pulled out a golden book. Ichi Ichi, the Ultimate Fantasy, Platinum Edition. As Kung Lao took the book. The only edition, he said. As he took it like it was a newborn baby. So, we're square, said Jiraiya. He took his hat off and threw it at the decapitated 3 of Naruto's ninjas. Yes, we're square, he said. So you're gonna help out, Jiraiya asked. As he got back his hat before taking off another head of one of Naruto's ninjas. I'll see what I can do. Meanwhile, the Kage's boot. Shang's tongue, said Orochimaru as he looked towards the man that was mimicking the Kazekage. Naruto must be scraping the bottom of the barrel if you're here. The Chinin, mystic smirk. Why are you surprised, Sannin? All of these souls will be mine. Not today, sorcerer, said Sarutobi as he ripped off his cloak, showing his battle armor underneath. The old man have some life left in him. I will enjoy taking it away from you. Shang stomped his foot as a staff appeared next to him. As he clutched it, Orochimaru shed his cloak as well, showing his ninja attire underneath. As he pulled out the Kusanagi, you won't get a chance, sorcerer, and your gods won't hear your screams. Shang snarled as he used his staff and twirled it as several fireballs was launched towards them. Hiruzen created a massive stone wall that blocked them. Lest you thought this, summoning, said Shanks. As a massive human-like figure was created, it had 4 giant arms. It had brown skin, black hair. It was 8 feet tall. Grow. Destroy them, Shang ordered. The 4-armed humongous being roared as it rushed forward. Overhead, the sky started darkening as thunder and lightning crashed. Back down the arena, Gaara said Naruto. As Gaara was on the ground, as he slowly picked himself up. New freaks, he said. As Naruto looked forward, as he saw the shadow. Shit, Noob Saiba. This was not good. The shadow was just that. A living shadow. As he had saw him in action once when he was 9. The new name never stood a chance. Where does he keep on getting these people, said Gaara. Rejects, outcasts, distant lands, Uncle said. Aeropop has a long listing on all of these people that Naruto has under his control. They had mainly kept to the mountains for most part. I've heard that there's some sort of place up there. But they come down most times to collect bounties on missing names. As she pointed towards Uchihas. Seems they made a collection on 3 Uchihas. We'll worry about the Uchihas later, said Naruto. We need to get the freaks out of here. Cybot, Sub-Zero, Scorpion. They're the biggest threats. Don't you love us anymore, Naruto clenched the voice. As the blonde turned to see Princess Kitna and Sonia. The princess was holding a pair of battle fans as the other one had slender blades. You've gotten even more handsome, Naruto-kun, said Princess Kitna. There was a mask covering her lower face. It's a shame. We won't get time to sample you, she said. Uncle, Gaara, we need to split up. Uncle, help Gaara with Cybot. I'll hold off the princess and her personal guards. Gaara looked like he wanted to protest, but Uncle knew her brother was trained enough to do what he said. Don't die, bro. You have to decide which girl you're gonna date, said Uncle. It better be Temari, or else, said Gaara. As Naruto chuckled a bit before, he turned his head. Ladies, he said. As they looked towards him, their weapons drawn, they rushed forward. As Naruto moved, Meanwhile, Jade swing with all of her might as Tsunade caught the bow staff. Why is it whenever my little Naruto is happy and things are going his way, you freaks always show up, said Tsunade. Jade tried to kick her, but Tsunade slapped it away. Because he belongs with us, said Jade. A cold day in hell before that happened, said Tsunade, as she launched herself forward. Jade jumped up in the air, but Tsunade turned. At the last moment in a ride mid-air, blam! The fist slammed into Jade, sending her sailing away. On the other hand, Haku was using her Ice Mirror to block Sub-Zero attacks, as she was the best defense against him, while the others were trying to attack him and take him down on the side. But his mastery over ice was strong. Scorpion and Kimimaro were at a standoff. Neither of them seemed to got the edge on one another. Kimimaro had bone blades run down his arms, and bones were coming from his back. Their punches and kicks met with bone cracking force, but neither of them showed it. Monks tried to get between them, but they died violently by fireballs from Scorpion. Kimimaro flashed behind him as he drove both bone blades through his back, through his chest. But Scorpion did not make a sound. Kimimaro pushed him off his blades as he started to search for Naruto. He saw him fighting Kitna and the guards as he moved, but Scorpion blade burst right through his chest as he looked down. Get over here! Kimimaro was yanked back as he was launched up in the air with a kick, as Scorpion appeared above him and an heel kick dropped in his face. He crashed in the ground like a meteor. Meanwhile, Sasuke said Kakashi as he was trying to get through to the Uchiha. His eyes were covered, but he was not answering. Kakashi felt something behind him as he turned, as Naruto was standing there. Copy Ninja Kakashi, he said. I believe it's time that we talk. Who are you? Said Kakashi, as Naruto chuckled. You're not ready for that, Kakashi, he said, as he was wearing the skull mask. He snapped his fingers. Kakashi was struck from behind. Ow. Only Sasuke was behind me, he thought, as a nothingness set in as he passed out. Meanwhile, Kitna and Sonia were looking around. Where is he? I don't know, princess. I can't sense him, as smoke was all around them. As they heard, I am the terror that stalked the night, as Naruto's voice was growing animalistic. I am the wind that filled those perky breasts. This isn't funny anymore, Naruto-kan, said Sonia, as she saw shadows moved around in the smoke. Highness, use your fans to remove the smoke. Kitna did, but she was frustrated when the smoke stayed where it was. Sonia tried to dispel, thinking that he was against jutsu, but that did not work either. I am. He appeared right next to them. They screamed as he pinched him on the bums. I am Grandmaster Sexy, said Naruto, as he vanished, leaving two frustrated and pissed off women in the permanent smoke bomb. Conqueror was a genius on making those, said Naruto, as he really missed him badly. The only way to end that smoke bomb was to throw the second concoction, which he would not throw, as he heard the woman curse inside of it. Meanwhile, upon the roof, Sarutobi was fighting Shang, as Orochimaru was facing off against the tall behemoth, as Shang was able to catch Hokage off guard and knocked him with a flaming fire skull in his chest. Harrison was sent sailing as he smashed into the roof. He coughed as he slowly picked himself up, breathing harshly. You still haven't told me what you're doing here. Why you're fighting? You're a missing nin. You must want something. Oh, that is easy. We want the power of the Kyuubi. Why? So that my master can use it to undo what was done to him. To bestow his world order upon the Elemental Nation. As Shanks started to chant, his staff started to glow ominously. His hair started to turn completely white, and the moles on his body started to spread. What is he doing? He's aging, said Harrison. What kind of spell he was using to be aging so rapidly? As Harrison stepped back. Meanwhile, impressive, don't you think, Tsunade? Said Nodus, as he turned to see her walking towards him after Kakashi was just knocked out. I thought that Jade would have gave you a challenge. That girl, while she has some skills, talked too much and expect whatever power you gave her to be able to save her, but it did not, said Tsunade. Nodus shrugged. They all have their uses, Tsunade. They're just a piece on the board. They die and live. Well, it doesn't really matter, he said. It matters. You will lose, said Tsunade. I might, but this is just a minor step in the grand scheme of things. As he glanced over to see Naruto, Kimimaro was in danger, so was Gaara, and Anko as well. Choose, Naruto. You can't save them all. You bastard. You expect him to choose. Who should live and die, said Tsunade. As I said, in the end it doesn't matter about the pawns. The king and queens are the most important piece on the board. As Nada saw Uncle use sneak hands on Sabot, but the man dissolved. You did well in raising him, Tsunade, despite all that has happened over the past few years. Tsunade paused. It was something in the masked man's tone. Who are you? She said. Laughter, hollow laughter came from the mask. Beat me and find out. Granddaughter of the first Hokage. Grandniece of the second Hokage. Adoptive mother of the Kyubijin Julike. Tsunade clenched her fist. She didn't know what it was, but there was a sensation. The way he spoke. She just couldn't wrap her fingers around it. But she was gonna pulverize him to find out. Meanwhile with Naruto, as he saw everyone was in danger, as he crossed his fingers, as clones poofed in the air, as he quickly gave them order and sent them out. Meanwhile Kimura was being pulled towards Scorpion. His life was saved by Naruto-sama and Tsunade-sama, but he supposed that it was time. His death was delayed. He had served them well, and he was thankful for them. The harpoon was keeping him from turning and cut the line. Scorpion raised a flaming sword over his head. I give your soul to Shang Tsung. No, that is the honor, said Scorpion. Fatality. The sword was stopped by a bone sword. Kimimura turned to see 5 Naruto clones there holding up the bone swords that he had dropped. I don't think so, freak, the clone said. They knocked away the sword as he was kicked brutally from 2 sides. The last one drove the sword forward, but he dodged, but he was kicked in the chest, knocking him away. The last clone had already cut the harpoon and pulled it out and threw it to the side. As his hands turned green, relaxed Kimimaro, the boss, already has everything scoped out. Kimimaro nodded as he allowed the clones to fight, his eyes searching for the original. Meanwhile, Nodus jumped away. Is age catching up to you, princess? He said. No, just making room, said Tsunade. Making room, said Nodus, as he had saw her jump back. Something viciously slammed into his spine as he was sent sailing. She was giving me room to kick your ass, said Naruto. Nodus slowly got up. Ah, Naruto-kun. So nice to see you, he said. Seems you came to play. Decide to leave your family and your friends to death. Nah, I took care of that, said Naruto, as Nodus looked over. Your famous shadow clones. Sir Toby, share that with you. I'm impressed. You're going to be more so when I'm done with you, said Naruto, as he dropped into a stance. I don't know that style, said Nodus. Let me show you in detail, said Naruto, as both of them moved forward. Nodus smiled under his mask, as they were knocked back. I must say, leaving you with the Sannins was a good idea. They taught you well. You'll find out I'm full of surprises, said Naruto, as he feinted with his right hand, then spin a back heel kick towards Nodus. Wonderful, said Nodus, as he avoided the attacks. All for Tsunade to leap over Naruto's head and slam her fist in the ground. Nodus had to jump as Naruto jumped up. A brutal kick to his chest knocked him towards the ground as he flipped and grabbed his chest. What is this? Tag team wrestling, said Nodus. Nah, but I can't let my little boy face an evil son of a bitch like you on his own. He's 16, and he has to give me some grandbabies someday. Mom, said Naruto. Come on, let's kick his ass, said Tsunade, as the both of them rushed forward. Meanwhile, Sir Toby didn't know what was going on, but he knew if Shanks finished his ritual, something bad will happen to Konoha. As he summoned Enma, he couldn't allow him as he shot forward. His staff connected and slammed the man out of the circle, launching him backwards. Sir Toby looked over as he saw Shang Tsung. His body was pierced through by a flagpole. He wiped his brow as he turned, as Orochimaru already had the creature subdued. Meanwhile, Anko was pissed off. She loved to fight, but the damn shadow kept on squirming away. She nodded towards Gar as she launched a fireball as he jumped away. Gar reached out his hand as it grabbed him. Sand coffin, said Gar as he squeezed his hand, as he rained more sand on the area. Sand burial! There was nothing at first, and they thought that he might have gotten away until a squelching sound could be heard as blood started to drip from the sand. Finally, you slippery bastard, Uncle said. As Gar looked around, the monks were turning the tide. Many of the Konoha ninjas were injured. His eyes saw 5 Naruto coming his ways as he blinked. What's up, bro, said Uncle. Boss wanted us to help you, but it seems you don't need us. 2 of the clones patted each of them on the shoulder. Good job, you two. Let's take care of Mr. Freeze there, and the rest of his party, said Anko. As the 5 clones and the 2 of them quickly made their way off, Haku was windy that she was using a lot of chakra to keep his attacks from getting to the others. Hinata, hands were trembling from the cold. She smiled when she saw Gaara. As Gaara looked around, "Where's Tamari?" he said, not seeing her. "She's got her own mission. Seikon and Ukon are with her," said Kin, as she rubbed her arms. "Damn, we need to take care of this guy," said Tiawaya. "It's so damn cold." Sub-Zero blasted a massive swirl of ice in the air, and he was gone. "Where the hell is he?" said Anko. "Look around," said Gaara, as they noticed most of Nada's freaks were vanishing. They saw Scorpion vanish in a blast of flame, and if they could guess, the fighters in the smoke were gone as well. "Look," said Haku. They all turned to see Tsunade and Naruto fighting Nodis. They have him. As Shizune was moving across the field with the sound medics, as they were heading for Kimimaru. "What should we do?" said Gaara as he looked towards Anko. "Form a perimeter. Kin, Tiawaya, find where some Kage and make sure it's alright. Hinata, you got basic field medic status, right?" Hinata nodded. "Good. Haku, here's a couple of chakra pills." As Haku was exhausted from stopping all of those ice attacks. Meanwhile with Jiraiya, "Well, it's time." "Be well, Jiraiya." "Wait. Where are you going?" said Jiraiya. "Our task here is done. Just a bit of warning, because of your little book. Beware of the coming days, not as plans. Work in ways that no one knows." And with that he vanished. "Damn it," said Jiraiya. Meanwhile, Nodis was concerned. His troops had retreated like planned, but his fight with Naruto and Tsunade kept him from fleeing. His skull mask was dirty and cracked. As he moved, managed to dodge away from Naruto's punch. He slammed his 5 fingers in Naruto's stomach. 5 palm, elemental seal. With that he flipped over Naruto's head as he dropped a scroll, and he vanished. Tsunade was sure that along with the smoke she saw golden light when he vanished. But she turned. "Naruto," she said as she rushed towards him, as the blonde doubled over in pain. There were 5 marks upon the seal at the fort had placed. His pulse became erratic, his breathing started to become shallow. "Stay with me," she said. As Jiraiya rushed over, "Jiraiya!" Tsunade screamed, "Hurry!" As he rushed over to check the seal, he paused when he saw it. "Oh shit," he said. And thus end the first part of this story, guys. Yes, that's it for the first part. Yeah, you thought it was done, but it's not. There's actually more sequels of this. I'll be doing it soon, but if you wanted to hurry up, just comment down below and tell me, and I'll be posting this as soon as possible. I need to know if you guys enjoyed this and you want me to continue, guys. But this is first one of What If Naruto was taken by the Sannins. But for now, I'm out here, see you guys soon. If you want, I'll be starting season 2 very soon. Peace.